Hello to all and welcome to Zach's Game Talk. And I know it's been a long time since I've last uploaded anything to this channel. I believe the last time was sometime in late 2018. So yeah, it's been quite a few years since I've last uploaded to this channel. And maybe some of you are wondering what exactly happened. Why did I just suddenly stop making videos on this channel a few years back? Well, if you guys know me well enough, I'm not really as passionate about this channel as much as I am on my main channel, which on my main channel, I do still upload regularly, which you should be subscribed to if you're not already. But anyhow, I'm just not really, I guess, in a position to be a game reviewer like a lot of other gaming channels are. I also don't upload gameplay, which a lot of gaming channels do. I mean, if you don't upload gameplay and you're a gaming channel, you're pretty much doomed from the start. I'm just going to go ahead and say it. And you know, there's obviously been a lot of changes since the last time I uploaded anything to this channel. I mean, obviously the world was a much different place than it was back then than it is now. I mean, unfortunately, the current state of the world right now is kind of a mess. And also, in my personal life, you know, there's been some changes then as well. I mean, it's been crazy, man. And there's also been quite a few Call of Duty game releases that have came out since the last time I uploaded anything to this channel, obviously. But for this video, I just want to focus on the newest Call of Duty game, Call of Duty Vanguard. Now, I will give a review for the other Call of Duty games, the couple of ones that came out before Vanguard, but I just wanted to talk about Vanguard for this video. Now, keep in mind, this is not a review. I will give a more detailed review for Vanguard sometime in the near future, but for right now, this is just a first impressions type video, like maybe like a month after playing impression type video, or whatever you want to call it. And this video is also not me making a comeback to say that I'm going to upload videos regularly, so I don't want anyone to get their hopes up to think that I'm going to upload as much as I do on my main channel on this channel. That's not going to happen, alright? I'm sorry about that. But I do want to talk about Vanguard because I do have some pretty interesting thoughts on this game, and I wanted to discuss my thoughts somewhere. Now, I know I've ranted about it maybe once or twice on Facebook or something, but I just thought, hey, why don't I just talk about it on my Zach's Game Talk channel? So that's what I'm going to do here. Now, I have to say this. I have never been so mixed about a Call of Duty game before. There were times where I've always been excited to some extent. You know, I've always been excited for the next Call of Duty game, no matter what it was, for as long as I've been into Call of Duty, because I've been playing this franchise since 2009. That's, you know, a decade plus, you know, so I've been playing for a long time. And I've never been this mixed about a Call of Duty game before. And I think this is for a few reasons. Even upon first seeing the trailers, you know, during the hype cycle of this game, I was honestly just kind of thinking, like, do we really need another World War II game? That was one of my initial thoughts when I first heard about Vanguard. Do we really need another World War II game? Who was asking for another World War II Call of Duty game? At least this soon after the last one, because the last one came out when? Like 4 years ago or something? We need a break. I mean, we do. I mean, even the World War II setting. Now, I know back when Call of Duty World War II came out in 2017, you know, it was kind of fresh and new at the time because it was something that people wanted, you know. It was honestly a pleasant surprise when we heard that Call of Duty was going back to its roots, because Call of Duty originated in the World War II setting. And that's something that had us very excited, you know, way back in 2017, of course. And But that's the thing too, man. Like, I just think we're at this point now where even the World War II setting, it's been done so much. It really has. And that's my problem with Vanguard. Now I think it's an interesting setting for Call of Duty, and I think some of the best Call of Duty games that have ever came out were set in World War II, such as World at War, one of the greatest Call of Duty games of all time. But no one was asking for another World War II game. I think we could do without one for another decade or so, if you ask me anyways. Now, I know some people might disagree with that, like, oh, you want another futuristic game, don't you? Personally, I would have rather had Advanced Warfare 2 than Call of Duty Vanguard. Actually, scratch that. I would have rather them just skip out on a year. I don't know why Call of Duty has to release Call of Duty games every single year. And I know the developers blame the conditions of the world for the reason why, the most recent games haven't, been as high quality as maybe some of the ones that came out previously, but I don't know who needs to hear this, but we do not need a new Call of Duty game every single year. We know we're getting one in 2022, we know we're getting one in 2023, and so on. No one's gonna cry if we don't get a new Call of Duty game every year, okay? That's exactly how I feel about Vanguard currently. This, if there was ever a time where I felt like Call of Duty needs a break, it's this time. I've never felt this way about a Call of Duty life cycle before. That's exactly how I feel about Vanguard, and this game is a good example of why we don't need a new game every year. I would have rather them just kept updating Cold War for another year. I would have very, very much would have rather had that than Vanguard come out. Now, sure, they'll probably still be supporting Cold War in other ways, but the main focus is going to be on Vanguard since that's the newest Call of Duty game right now. So yeah, the fact that, it's a World War II setting, it's basically what you would expect. Now, I will say that I do think they did things better in this game than they did in the last World War II game, Call of Duty World War II. I do think that this is an improvement from that, but that's not saying much. Now, I do want to give my critiques. Like I said, I will give a more detailed review later down the line, but I do gotta make a few complaints right away. The campaign. The campaign is way too short. I have the game, I played through the campaign. It really didn't feel like that many missions. And I have to say that the campaign itself, there's things that I like about it, but then there's things that I don't like about it. The ending was especially underwhelming. I mean, I just really, after playing the campaign, I just kind of reflected back on the days when I would finish a Call of Duty campaign feeling satisfied, feeling like, wow, that was really epic. I didn't really feel that way about the ending to Call of Duty Vanguard's campaign. I really miss those Call of Duty campaign endings where, the villain kind of is overpowering you, like where you're in a position where, you're really hurt bad. Look at the ending of Modern Warfare 2, for example, where you didn't know what exactly was going to happen, during that fight with Soap, Captain Price, and Shepard, just the epicness of that. The music itself was epic, and, the way that they went about it was just so epic. When you take down the villain in Vanguard at the very end, what the heck was so epic about that? Like, that was kind of a dud, if you ask me. Like, it was just not interesting whatsoever. And I do have to say that this is the most SJW-filled campaign that there is. I know that, they want to be diverse or, whatever, which, I don't really care if there's a diverse cast in the story or campaign or whatever. I don't want anyone to take things the wrong way, of course, but I don't have an issue with that. I personally don't see an issue with that. But when it's forced like this, it's just kind of like, okay, we already know what you're doing here. You know, I just, and it has to be a Sledgehammer thing, because this isn't the first time that this happened. This happened in, you know, the SJW moments kind of happened in the original Call of Duty World War II campaign as well. You know, the one from a few years ago. There were some lines in that campaign that I was just like, really? You know, especially after looking back. You know, I remember at first I actually didn't get it, but when someone pointed it out, I'm like, oh crap, that's what they were implying? Like, I thought that, you know, this person and these two characters kind of had a past and something happened between them. But, I mean, that's how much normal, rational people think about things like this. We just don't think about stuff like this. We don't think about, you know, oh, how some people have certain privileges, or how there's an equality issue or whatever. We just don't think about stuff like that. We really don't. Give us a good story that doesn't shove that stuff down our throat. All right? I think Vanguard takes it a step further when it comes to the wokeness, you know, and there's even some things, even in the beginning of the campaign, where I guess it's kind of historically inaccurate, which I know this is something that some people have pointed out, you know, when your squad is captured and all that at the beginning, the very first mission. There's things about that I'm like, okay, I can understand where the complaints are coming from. It's not something that bothers me that much. It doesn't bother me as much as it does the wokeness that's in the campaign as well, which, you know, does play a factor in the first mission as well, you know, which is something that some people complain about, but I don't know. It's just something that I'm just kind of like, really? And this is why, I mean, I can see why some people live in the past. I can see why people like me are stuck in the past. You know, I know that, you know, even on my main channel, there's some people that claim that, oh, I'm stuck in the past, you know, because things really were just better then. You know, back in the early 2010s and even late 2000s, I mean, man, we really took that time for granted. Like, there was, like, not much division or wokeness. Like, we didn't have to worry about the crap that we worry about today. At least not to the same extent. You know what I'm saying? But that's a whole another subject that I could go on and on about, but I really don't want to, because this is solely based around the game. All right? So the campaign, minus the wokeness, was very short. It's an improvement from the last World War II Call of Duty game. I think gameplay-wise, there's more variety and stuff, but I don't know. It did kind of leave me feeling underwhelmed. Now, as for the multiplayer itself, I think the multiplayer is actually the best thing about Vanguard, really. I mean, and that's saying something, because you know, the multiplayer is not as good as other Call of Duty games, I don't think. I do appreciate that they brought back Dome from World at War, but, you know, the multiplayer, it's all right. It's all right. It's kind of hit or miss for me. Not the greatest thing in the world, but it's okay. For zombies, I've only played the zombies mode like once, and it's maybe the worst zombies experience that I ever had. Now, of course, for right now, we'll give it time, you know, in the future, and see how zombies holds up. But that's just my initial reaction, I guess. But yeah, I've honestly never been this mixed about a Call of Duty game before. There's things that I really do like about this game, don't get me wrong. I do appreciate the fact that I did get some vibes of classic Call of Duty games in Vanguard. Like, there were even certain missions in the campaign, and even some of the maps in multiplayer, that gave me vibes of Call of Duty 2 of all games. I mean, that's going way back, you know? So I do appreciate the sort of callback to those days. I don't know if that's really what they were going for, but that's just the vibe that I got anyways. And I do appreciate that, and I'm sure other people may feel the same way. But honestly, man, this game, it still is an example of why we don't need a new Call of Duty game every year. Now, sure, back in the day, they probably could have gotten away with it more because, well, those were quality games, you know? But I don't know what they were trying to imply now. Like, now that I'm an adult now, like, compared to when I started playing Call of Duty, like, now I'm starting to question, like, why do we need a new Call of Duty game every year? You know, look at game franchises like Grand Theft Auto. Like, look at GTA 5, which is still very, very popular, which, I mean, that came out almost a decade ago now, and that game is still very popular. Why, like, what is it with Call of Duty that, you know, the developers feel like that they have to release a new Call of Duty game every year? Who's going to lose their mind if we don't get one every year? That's what I want to know. Now, I can see them, like, maybe releasing one once every 2 or 3 years. I think that's okay. You know, that gives the developers enough time to finish the game. And that's another thing I gotta complain about. This is probably the last thing I'm gonna complain about for this game, is the fact that it kind of does feel unfinished. Like I said, the campaign was short. I feel like the campaign could have had more potential. But, you know, these last few Call of Duty games, like, they feel so unfinished. Like, especially when it came to Cold War. Now, I'll talk about Cold War for another video, but these last couple of Call of Duty games, like, they're so buggy and glitchy, and they just feel so unfinished, you know? And it's like they have to release it anyways. You know, it's like they have to release a broken product, you know, because they have to release a Call of Duty every year. You know, they just have to. Newsflash, no, you do not. You do not. Battlefield doesn't. Halo doesn't. In fact, there hasn't been a new Halo game in 6 years. There's going to be a 6-year gap in between Halo 5 and Halo Infinite. So, no, you don't need to release a new Call of Duty game every year. I don't know who needs to hear that, but we don't. We don't need a new Call of Duty game every year. You know, that even goes for the fanboys, you know? Oh, well, you know, this was last year's game. Who wants to keep playing last year's game? Well, maybe it's not that good of a franchise then if you're complaining about a game that came out last year and you think it's outdated even though it's a year old. You know? Heck, you know, look at game franchises like Elder Scrolls. You know, there's still people that are playing Skyrim, and that game's almost, you know, it's over 10 years old, you know? So, man, Call of Duty players, man, you got it better than you realize. I mean, you just do. Now, sure, the games themselves could be better quality, but as far as, you know, their scheduled releases, you're spoiled. You know, you get one every year, which we really don't deserve. In fact, I would have rather them skip out on Vanguard this year. I would actually rather the game not exist at all and just wait until the next Modern Warfare game comes out, which is presumably going to be the next title in 2022. But either way, Vanguard for me, you know, it's weird, because once again, there's things that I really do appreciate about it, but I still do have some problems with it. It's really nothing special. Like, that's really my main complaint with it. It's just kind of just nothing special. It's just another World War II FPS game. That's really all it is. You know, nothing interesting. You know, like I said, the campaign, it has some decent moments, but I can't get past the SJW stuff that's in the campaign, and the fact that it's also kind of short too. You know, it's a campaign I got done within like 2 days. You know, I do have my complaints. It's not a horrible game, but once again, I've never been this mixed about a Call of Duty game before. But let me know what you guys think. Do you guys feel the same way about Call of Duty Vanguard? Did you guys actually like the game? Is it something that you don't like? Some people even say it's the worst Call of Duty game ever. For me, I'm just kind of mixed. Like, if I were to give it a rating now, once again, this is not a review, but if I were to, like, give it a rating now, at the current state that it's in now, I'd probably give it, like, an average rating, maybe, like, a 5 out of 10 or something, but I don't know. Either way, it's just kind of meh. But let me know what you guys think. Thanks for watching, and take care.